Hi, it's Belinda, Aussie Stitcher, coming to you on this 2nd of November 2024. In a slightly different position, I've got a new stand that holds my phone higher, so I don't have to sit on the floor anymore because I was dying. I was dying getting up off the floor and going to do a whip parade in the next 2 to 3 weeks, and it was not going to work if I was still sitting on the ground trying to get up. Have officially absolutely reached that age. So I'm going to do what I normally do, give a quick update, then show my whips. I have a finish and any plans. I will let you know that it is a Saturday and I have kids home and I have a kid at the table eating breakfast. So if you hear a little bit of noises, I'm sorry. It is what it is. This is trying to get stuff done. Michaela's in her room trying to clean her room. There's just going to be noises. I hope it's not too distracting. Right, so what has happened? We have, well, let's go back. So Sophie's officially graduated year 12. She's done and dusted. Not done and dusted. She has 2 exams next week. She's got English Lit exam and Modern History. She's busy working at the local IGA with me. Well, not specifically with me, but she's there. She's got her own license, so she can drive herself in and out. Saving lots of money to head over to Scotland at the end of January next year. So that's her goal. So she's busy doing that. Kids are busy in their last term of school. Busy. William is heading away for a competition not a competition. I call it a competition, but it's not. Their school is going to be singing in the mass choir that's happening in Perth. So that's very exciting. Him and his classmates have had to learn 11 songs, some actions. It's been busy with lots of practices, and they leave next week for 3 nights. It's a big thing. It's his first camp, very exciting. We've also started harvest, and we've started this week, and it's just been busy. It's been busy at work as well. It's just been busy. We've harvested our barley. That's all off. We mainly do barley for us because we have sheep, but we had more than what we needed, so we sold a load. Oats, that's all for us. And now we're on to the wheat. And yeah, it's going good. It's much better than last year. Last year, I think we averaged like 0.3 of a tonne because it was a drought, and we're definitely over the tonne mark this year. So that's amazing. Anything else? It was really hot last week. We were hitting 40 degrees Celsius, and now we're dropped down to like early 30s, and we're going to be late 20s for the rest of this week. It is really bizarre. Not knocking it. Flies have been horrible. Moths have been unbelievably everywhere. Just randomly. All right, that's enough of that kind of updates. No photos this week, maybe next time, but yeah, it's been unbelievably busy. Right, now into the stitching. I had roughly 4 no stitch days. It's been busy. But I still managed to do 6,045 stitches and 551 beads in the month of October. I did do some beads yesterday for a finish, but that counts into November data. Yeah, so even though it was ridiculously busy and I was tired a lot at night, I still managed to get a really good number of stitches in. I'm very, very happy with this. And most of that is down to my early morning stitch on Outback Storm, though there were those 4 days I didn't stitch at all. So first project in the StitchNButton bag. I feel like I should, I need to, but that's too far back. And I'm old. I think I might need to get one of those pillows. So I'm sitting a bit more. Random information. First month I stitched on this month was And a Forest Grew. This is my last 3 monthly piece, so I'll stitch on this for 3 months for the year. And I did a grand total of 870 stitches. This is stitched on 36 Tyco from Picture This Plus. And I'm pretty sure I put this on 1, 2, 3 stitch. And I have a page finish. And I think that's basically why I stopped. I kind of got to a good point and then went, we're done. So just bring it in. So yeah, I got the page finished and then I got that little owl motif done. Do like stitching on this. And so I didn't have it with me in my last video, but what I was talking about, it's a big piece, but it has 14 pages, but the pages only go so the pages are roughly 100 100 height and 60 width. So they're not humongous pages in the least. So it is a big width, not gonna lie, but it's not like heaven and earth where the pages are ridiculously. What it does do though is have lots and lots of colors. So that one, they're not normally this messy. This one, beautiful colors, just. And I've got another one that has like 2 on it. So lots of colors. Very stop and starty. You know, sometimes you literally only need a color of this for 2 stitches, 1 stitch. Sometimes you get a good amount going, but yeah, I do really enjoy working on that. Then I worked in this StitchNButton bag, Stargazer for 924. And this is stitched on, I'm gonna get better at this, 28 Lagana in Opal Moon, Opal Blue Moon by Color Cascades. So Stargazer by Mirabilia. And I basically just worked, I worked in here, just going acrossways. I think that's what I was doing. I was just filling in. So I always think I've done so much more on this, but I haven't. So it is what it is. I don't know why. I feel like every time during a whip parade, I'm like, yeah, this is going to be my next finish. I'm like halfway done, and then I look at it and go, I'm not even remotely halfway done. Vintage Birds came out for 789 stitches. It's in this Stitch and Button bag. So this is Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas. And this is stitched on a 36 count ivory that I got from Picture This Plus. And I did this did I do that? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did this flower and the birds. And I might have done this. I can't quite remember. That seems big. If I did that, it would be more than 700. I did 700. You could be able to see 789 stitches. I know I did the birds, so maybe I did this. I don't know. I did something. I was kind of hoping this would be a December finish, but like I reckon what? November. I reckon I've got about 3,000 stitches. It might be a December finish, but I think it'll be more like a January finish, which is fine. It would have been nice to have another finish this year, make it 4, but we can wait till next year. We'll just see how it goes. Some motifs, you think, oh, this has got barely any stitches in it. Sorry, I keep knocking the camera. And you count it and it's like, oh my God, I've done 1,000 stitches. And you do another motif and you're like, I've definitely done 1,000 stitches now. And it's like 300 stitches. I'm not very good at guessing that one. Right, then I got Anzac in this Stitch and Button bag. And I did 1,030 stitches on Anzac. For the page finish, Will, can you stop that dinging, please? Let me see. Yep, for the page finish in that little corner. And then I finished off the kangaroo, and then I started possibly birds. And this is what it looks like all up. But yeah, did the waves, and I've started the platypus that has a Maori word on it, and from memory I don't know what it means, but yeah, getting close. That will be a finish next year. Then I worked on Outback Storm for 2,432 stitches, and I have a page finish. So I was working in here and it's all done. So 2 complete rows done. And just today in the Aussie Cross Stitches Facebook group, I saw a finish of Outback Storm. Someone had finished it, and she had stitched this in 10 months. I mean 10 years. And she has stitched it and finished it in 10 months. And it looks amazing. Won't post the pic, I don't have permission. But yeah. And then I've started down here. in the next. I decided to start at the bottom and work all the way up, so that way I'm not like, I'm getting different. Otherwise it's just a lot of background. That does look really good. I was looking at her pic and I'm like, oh, it looks amazing. Mine feels a bit blurry. Oh. But when you really pull it back, it looks just as good as hers. I don't know, when you see something all the time up close, especially in a full coverage, you can get a little bit like, oh, is this going to be look? I'm sorry, I'm going to keep showing this. It looks amazing. And because I haven't shown it for a while, so, and then it goes the way down. At one point, this whip was was bigger than my daughter Michaela. Unfortunately for me, Michaela's done some massive growth spurts this year and she is now same height as me or taller. Right, and this leads to the grand finish of Autumn Queen, which I was not expecting to get finished. I wasn't even expecting to start beading until this month, but I just started and I absolutely enjoyed it. Here she is, Autumn Queen by Mirabilia, stitched on 32 count Belfast Ancient by Picture This Plus. All up has around 600 beads, not including the beads that are in the rope bit here. So let's start with the crown. This was the biggest pain in my ass. There is a distinctive pattern with the red beads, which I could not mimic here because of 32 count shrunken little squares, threads. It just wasn't going to fit. So we just did the best we could. Yeah, this is not bead heavy at all. After doing, I think Enchanted Mermaid had 1500 beads and Snow Queen had quite a lot as well. This was literally 2 days, 3 days worth of beading. And that was just because of work life. Then we've got the neck, a little brooch. These treasures here, I ended up with an extra treasure that I didn't need. So I don't know if anyone else would have that same issue. The bodice. So the top bit was very stitch heavy and then the bottom bit not so much, but we do have that rope. I had actually forgot to stitch this. For some reason I thought you make your own tassel and then you stitched it. I had forgotten that it was supposed to be stitched, so I stitched this and then beaded it. I did this little bit here last night. So yeah. And then to get that curve, I've just gone back and put like a little stitch to keep it. So when it gets framed, it has that kind of curl down. But yeah, glad it's finished. Bar the crown, that still annoys me. Looks good, but it just annoyed me. Love stitching on her, and I loved the beading. Though the way I bead, I got a little, I don't think you can see it, but I got like a little mark where I push through and it gets sore. But yeah. 4 beads, like it was so super easy. And what I do and how I do my beading, I have, what are they called? Those beading things that you can get, tacky bobs. I have a tacky bob and I open it up and I cut out little pieces of paper and I stick it down with the symbol and number, the bead number, and I'll have 1, 2 on one side, 1, 2, and then I put beads on it, and that way I just pick up from there. I wonder if I've got, yep, hold please. Dropped. That was pretty bad, I'm sorry. There we go, my tacky bob. Symbols, you get this if you drop your tacky bob with beads on it, just saying. Anyway, life happens. But that's how I do it. Sorry, that was really bad getting up and down. Next time I'll just stop it and do it so that you don't have to see close up of me. I'm so sorry. So, yeah, so that's how I bead. If I have lots of beads, like when I was doing Snow Queen and Mermaid in the Shipwreck, I would have like a little bit here, maybe a bit there. Like I use as much as I can. So yeah, that's how I bead. That's my finish. Plans, basically working on all of that again. Hopefully at some point I will stitch on Sleeping Beauty Joan Elliott. My next aim for a finish with the Mirabilia is going to be Day Nymph. So hopefully that's an early end of this year, early next year finish as well. And then I have a slight change of plans for next year. I am going to stitch on a finished Mirabilia is going to be the March Fairy. And then I'm going to put Winter Queen in that space for that 3-monthly rotation. And just, I need a break from Queens. Not big puffy dresses, obviously, but I need a break from Queens. And I feel that's closer to a finish and I could get that done possibly next year, where Winter Queen is definitely an 18-month project the way I stitch. My other project that is this month, is in this Stitching Fans Necessities bag. And it is Sleeping Beauty. And she is stitched on this 32 count Ariel by Picture This Plus, and that is my starting point. And I had someone query me with the blues and will it be all right? I think it will be. I think I had actually done a floss toss on this because this is a restart. The only blue that could was like one of these ones, but I think it's more surrounded by other colors, so it won't be as big as the deal. But yeah. Yeah, because the outline and that is all that color. Because this is a restart. I had it on something and it wasn't looking good, so I restarted it. Don't want to do another restart. But yeah, it was good to point out. It is looking a little bit, the thing is when I look at it, I can see it quite clearly. So sometimes that's the way it happens as well. But yeah, glad to get another 1,000 stitches-ish, hopefully, on a project that is barely been started. So yeah, that is the stitching plans. General plans for next year, I'm having a New Year, New Start with Lo and Behold by Long Dog Sampler. And at this stage, I think Vicky from StitchNButton is going to start it with me. I would like to do the Rapunzel restart at some point. And think once I have day nymph done, I might do a Mirabilia start. I am trying to whip down, so I don't want too many starts. I don't really consider, Rapunzel is still in my actual whip list. I just haven't restarted her. The idea, I think I've got around 20 Mirabilias on the go, and I would like to get that down to more 10 to 15 so that they get more progress than what they are getting now. Might actually have more than that. But that's the idea. So with every 3 to 4 Mirabilia finishes, I will have a start. That way I'm still going through, as my Mirabilia Whip and Stash Parade pointed out, I have a lot and I want to stitch on them and get them finished. But I need to focus on what I have. And I'm not a huge whip changer, and I don't stitch more than 6-7 projects a month, so I've got to be realistic. Anything else? No. This is probably going to be one of those iffy, interesting, real close-up of Belinda videos. But yeah, I just thought since I've got this stand, I'll give it a go, because I have my whip parade coming up, which I'm going to hopefully do in about 2 weeks. And I can't sit on the floor for an hour and do that. That will really, really hurt. So this was just to see how it all went. I'm really happy with my stitching, just been busy. At work it's busy, at home it's busy. It's just busy. In a good way, just tiring. I'm looking in front of me, seeing baskets of washing that needs to be folded as well. So it's just busy. Anyway, I just want to wish everyone hopefully a good stitching month. And I will be doing the Stash and Whip parades, but I would do like the Jane Elliott one, the Long Dog Sampler, and the rest of it. But I will do that after my whip parade, and probably next year at this point, because I feel like I'm just constantly showing you the same stuff, and it's got to be bloody boring, to be honest. Kind of repetitive. So maybe next year, that way you haven't seen it for a couple of months and it might be a little bit more interesting. So yeah, we'll be doing it, just pushing that side to next year. And that's it. I hope everyone has a great day and have a great stitching month, and happy stitching. Bye.